Well, hello to Rider Ramblings. Today is probably going to be a much longer rider rambling, as we're going about 40 minutes from here to a place called Velizy. It's hopefully the battery in the camera will last 40 minutes. It's about the duration of a recording, and we might be lucky, we might not. We will have to see what happens. I'm going to take the long way because, quite simply, there are no radar on my side of the road when you take the long way. Excuse me, I'm just moving the microphone. I think it's in the wrong place, but we'll soon find out. There are fewer radar cameras, speed cameras and that type of thing. If we take the long route, whereas the quicker route, well, I'm not sure it's actually quicker because the speed limits are lower. There's about 7 or 8 speed cameras, radar, if you're from France. So, the motorcycle shops are open. It's not a Monday. Ooh, it's still a bit breezy. There's a little bit of a breeze there. So, yes, and I do absolutely detest speed cameras. I understand the need for them in certain places. We've got a lorry who doesn't know what he's doing. Oh, I see. He wants to do a left turn, and because it's a very tight left turn, he's having to be in the right-hand lane. So we will see. All the brake lights on this police car are working. The one yesterday had a brake light out. So we've got a nice day. It's quite pleasant. And we've still got the wind, but not as much. And we'll see what's what. The coronavirus, hello. 77, yes, check your mirror before you move. The coronavirus seems to be causing some problems in the UK. It seems that there's been a carrier, which is, we're about to go, so I'll come slowly up to the lights. That was a long set of lights. Yes, there seems to be a carrier of the coronavirus in the UK. So, a number of people in France and Switzerland and Spain and the UK, of course, have all been infected, which is not good. It's definitely not good. We got Charlie on his electric trottinette. There are now rules in France as to the use of these things, and the police are clamping down quite a lot on people in the city, not so much in the suburbs like this. As I said last time, they are allowed to jump the lights. It's something which they can do, but they're only allowed to do it if it's safe to do so. But a lot of the scooter riders have read we can jump the lights. They haven't read if it is safe to do so. That is the problem. They only read half the instruction or the rules about the lights. Anyhow, yes, a bit of a problem. So instead of turning left here, we'll be going straight on. And as I said before, I do have a problem with speed cameras. I do detest speed cameras, mainly because of the fact they don't take common sense into account. And you have to sit there looking at the speedo Mr. Mercedes is playing an interesting game, I think. You have to spend your time looking at the speedo and not the traffic that is around you, which I think is quite dangerous actually, and we do seem to see a number of rear endings at speed camera sites because people are not sure of their speeds or what the speed limit is and slam on the brakes. And of course the car behind is either too close and or too fast. So I think I'm going to have to lose this Mercedes because he's starting to irritate me. He's driving like a motorcycle, but he isn't a motorcycle. He's much too big. Oh, he's turned off anyhow. So he's going down by the river. Let's have a look at the river from here, see how high it is. I've seen it up to just on the top of those pylons. You probably can't see the pylons, but I've seen it up as high as that. So it's not too high at the moment. It's relatively okay. Let's see about filtering. We've got a gent in front who is not paying attention to the traffic. Thank you. So if you're watching this from the States, what I'm doing in France is totally legal, or in Paris should I say. It's only legal in the cities. Once you get outside of the cities, filtering and lane splitting is not allowed. It's usually tolerated outside of the cities, but inside the cities you're allowed to filter to the front, and you'll find that most vehicles will actually pull over for you. Unless, of course, they're a BMW and they're not sure what they're doing. So we'll drop into this lane here and we'll wait for these lights. We have a beggar there at the lights. He'll be asking for ticket resto and any small change that people might have. It is actually quite windy. It is. I'm going to put it into gear and hold it in gear with both feet on the ground because I can actually feel it being moved around. The other problem, which people in the UK will find amusing, is that, or people in London, is that in France, motorcycles are not allowed to use the bus lanes at all, whereas in London you are allowed to use the bus lane where it is marked, or unless it's marked that you're not allowed to. I do know that in some cities you're not allowed to use the bus lanes in the UK, and other cities you are. But in France, nobody's allowed to use the bus lanes. There is, on Wednesday, which is tomorrow, a demonstration by, they call it a manifestation in French, by the various motorcycle groups. And on Wednesday it's in Paris, and they're demonstrating against things like not being able to use the bus lanes and the various rules and regulations which are coming into force, which don't really make it any safer or any better for motorcyclists. And the French are well known for their demonstrations, and I might go on this tomorrow afternoon, because the other thing that's interesting in France is that on a Wednesday afternoon it's a half-day school day, so a lot of parents take either the Wednesday off or half-day Wednesday off, and so there isn't as much work on a Wednesday for anybody really, because it's the day when the French parents take their children to the various activities, sports, dancing, you name it, extra lessons and things like this that they might have. So it's very possible that I'll have no work tomorrow afternoon, and if that's the case, I may well go on the demonstration, and if I do, I'll try and video it, but I'm going to need to have external power. That's a red light camera there for the pedestrian crossing, and we'll see what's what, because the gathering point is actually not far from where I was when I started this recording, about a couple of miles, if that, from where I started this recording. So it's easy for me to get to. I thought Charlie might do that. Hello! You don't have right of way there. It's not a priority à droite, honest. It's definitely not a priority à droite. So yes, there are a number of laws which people seem to think are, or lawmakers should I say, seem to think are good ideas, but as they're not motorcyclists, they don't, or riders of two wheels, they're not really cognizant of the problems that two-wheel riders face. If they want to make the roads safer, they need to get rid of the potholes and things like that off the roads, and change the paint so that we can see it when it's wet. Right, so this is probably the 86. It might be the N 4 it might be the A 4. It could well be the N Song 4. This is another of the tricks that the French road system has for you, is that you're on a particular road and the road numbering for that particular road changes without rhyme or reason, or seemingly without rhyme or reason. So it's an interesting one. So you're not too sure which road you're on. They do sometimes actually put a sign up to say that it's this or that, but they're not very good at signage in France. The signage could be better for the roads. Okay, so at this point we are certainly on the A86 4, because it tells it's a radar we've just gone past, but it's pointing to the other side of the road, and it doesn't half cause some problems there with people from out of town. They suddenly realise there's a radar and bring the speed down to below 70 kilometres an hour, even though it is 90 kilometres an hour there. And the tailback and the screeching of brakes can be quite interesting. Well, we'll see what this is like in a tunnel. So first of all, just take the sun visor down so I can actually see what I'm doing. Aha! And we'll have to see how good the picture is in the tunnel. It's nice to be able to use the sun visor in February. It's the date today, the 11th of February, yes. It's nice to be able to use it, and the fact that I'm not in full winter gear is also very nice. I'm in sort of autumn and spring gear, not in my full warm and winter gear. So yes, it's very strange weather we're having at the moment. I'm not complaining because I don't like the cold at all. It's not something which I like. The rain, I don't really mind the rain. It's, I have the equipment to deal with rain, and so it's not a problem, but that's the end of the tunnels for now. We'll be going to some more tunnels in about 5 or 6 kilometres time. We're now on the N 186A. So we were on the A86, we're now on the N 186A, because it actually splits into two here and joins back again in about a couple of miles time. And there's usually an enormous traffic jam where it joins back, because there's people wanting to go from the right-hand lane to the left-hand lane and vice versa, and you name it, and it is a bit of a bordel, as they say in France. It's a bit of a bordel. So looks like we'll be coming on back on to the auto route again very soon, when they go back together again. Maybe not. That's for the A6. The A6 comes out of Paris and goes south. It's called the Autoroute du Soleil. It's the route that most Parisians take to get to the south of France and the sun. Down, I believe it either goes to Nice or Marseille, somewhere in that area. Traffic is very light because it's school half term, school holiday for Parisians, so a lot of people, a lot of parents are at home with their children, or they've taken them away. I know people in our apartment block have gone away for the week, or possibly for 2 weeks. So yeah, it's very common for Parisians not to remain in Paris during the holidays. A lot of them have a second house somewhere. Quite often it's their old parents' or grandparents' house, something like that, which they've been gifted. And they use that for the holidays. And a lot like to go to Normandy or Brittany, or down to the Bordeaux region, or just north of the Bordeaux region, which is called the Vendée, that sort of area, and around the Bordeaux region, and of course down to the south of France, which there's a lot of magpies about today. It's the third one I've seen. So we've got one of those three-wheeled scooters directly behind me. He, I think, is trying to work out whether or not I'm a policeman. I'm not dressed like a policeman, but I've noticed that for some reason it might be my riding style, I don't know, but others tend to be a bit wary around me. I'm in a black jacket. Okay, I've got a white helmet on, but the police in France wear blue helmets, or usually wear blue helmets, so I'm not dressed. I'm on a black motorbike, and the police usually either have blue motorbikes or white motorbikes, so I'm not in any way trying to impersonate the police. I'm just on a motorbike. No, but I've noticed it quite a lot, that people tend to ride a little more carefully around me. So these are the tunnels at Antony we go through. They're usually a big bottleneck in the mornings and the evenings, but as it's 12:30, it's quite an easy run. I'm going to see if I can get a sandwich or a salad before my next appointment, which is at 1 o'clock. I'm not hopeful that I'll be able to actually get one and eat it in time, because I've got another 10 minutes probably get to the sandwich shop, and this sandwich shop is very popular and usually has a large queue, so I'll go there. If the queue is too big, I'll just have to give it a miss and try and get there at about 2:45 instead. I've got a break, and see what they've got. Another magpie, so that's 4 magpies. They're struggling in the wind as well, I notice. They're not flying as gracefully, or if that's how magpies fly. Do magpies fly gracefully? Answers in the comments, please. It would be interesting. This has been a very easy run. There's been no problems at all. And, it's not like coming along here at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm just going to slow down because unmarked speed camera vehicles this is a popular area for the unmarked speed camera vehicles. So don't ask me how I know this. Yes, so I shall stay at or about the speed limits. Yes. 2B, Corsica. May or may not be from Corsica. A lot of people actually put it on their vehicle registration plate because people from Corsica are thought to be, how can I put this, more aggressive. And so consequently, if it's on their registration plate, they're tended to be extended a little more courtesy by the other road users. Not always, of course. But you can get stick-on labels. You don't actually have to say what your department is. 2B, as I say, is Corsica. 92 is this area. That motorcycle, the green Kawasaki, I think, in front is a 92. I'm riding one which has the department number of 91, which is south of here. So, yes. But it's not a legal requirement to have your department number or even a flag or the little F. Some people seem to think it is. It's not. Ooh. It's a little bit breezy here. Now, normally on a Wednesday I'm in that building there, but I've been looking at my schedule for this week and it seems I'm not there this week. Okay, slow down because there's a lane closed. I only hope they haven't closed the junction because I actually want this junction. I do. No, the junction looks open, so here we go. It is actually very breezy. Pleasant at all at times. 2 more magpies. Right, so we're on what's called the Sandy Suite, the 118, but only for a couple of 100 meters or so, and then we'll turn off into Velizy. The Sandy Suite here in this direction goes down into Paris. It drops down the Pont de Sèvres. Yeah. So this piece of road used to be an absolute nightmare, but they resurfaced it recently, and it's very nice now. It is. I was hoping to get an opportunity to filter, but we've got another beggar out. Unfortunately, a large number of these people around Paris. Probably have them around a lot of other cities. And, so we've arrived in Velizy. A lot of people want to live here because the habitation tax, the poll tax, the rates, whichever country you live in, is virtually nil, because there's so much industry, so many offices, things like that, but the local municipality doesn't have to levy a tax. It does levy a tax, but it doesn't have to levy a tax on private residents, and it's about as small as it can be. So we're still trying for the sandwich shop, but I'm not hopeful. Definitely not hopeful. We've got a couple of sets of lights to go before we get there. Ooh, windy. So as I said to our American friends and those who are not allowed to filter, what I'm doing is perfectly legal and expected. Actually, you'll find that a lot of vehicles will pull over and give you room, which is very nice of them. You probably noticed that they did that at one of the sets of lights as we were coming into a place called Créteil. It depends on which department people are in. We're now in department 78, so you can see it on the registration plates. But some of the people from department 78 are not as kind, shall we say, as some of the others. So, but, we will try for the sandwich. I'm not too sure what Charlie here is doing. Is he actually going to go left? Is he just confusing everybody? Right. We'll just see what the sandwich shop is like. If it's no, it's manic. It's manic. It is. So forget that. I'll come in after about 2:30, just before they close, which is about 3 o'clock. So we'll go around the block. The tram at Velizy. It's cost quite a lot of money, this, but it's also helped to make Velizy very popular for both business and as a dormitory town. See, we've had some nice people there giving me space. Very good of them. A dispatch scooterist. In France they use metal top boxes. Obviously this is to do with insurance. Ordinary plastic top boxes are not good enough. I'm not sure whether they're supposed to lock them or not, but I don't know. We will see. Might find out soon on that one. Nothing coming. So that's it. I'm nearly at work. I've got one more set of traffic lights to go through and then I'm at work. So I hope this is recorded for the whole probably half an hour. I'm not sure if it has or hasn't. I don't know what the sound is like, whether when it was at speed, but if you've enjoyed that, thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day.